What's up, my fellow yarn bombers? My name is Michael and I am the Crafty Crocheter. And for those of you who are new to the channel or new to viewing my videos, welcome and thank you for stopping by. And for those of you who are returning viewers and or loyal subscribers, welcome back and I appreciate your patronage. So in this video, I thought I would share with y'all how I perform wet blocking. Now, wet blocking is advantageous for allowing your stitches to be flat and flat and softens the fabric a little bit, especially when it comes to working with Afghans that require a lot of panels. For example, for my current project, I'm working on the I just finished all of my panels for the Janie Crow Marrakesh Towels blanket, and so this is what the panels look like. This is the octagons. Then this is one of the 12 half granny squares, and this is one of the 4 quarter granny squares, and then I actually have the actual granny squares themselves. So I'm going to be wet blocking all of these, and so I'm going to show you how I wet block my panels. Now this is 100% acrylic yarn. Now I'm going to show you I'll just tell you that the following things you're going to need are going to be, of course, you're going to need like a basin or something to soak your panels in, because unless you scrub out your sink really well, you don't want to have any kind of food particles or anything getting into the fabric or to the acrylic of your yarn. But I prefer to do this method because that way you could just dump it out and be fine. And then also any kind of mild detergent. Avoid any soaps or detergents that have enzymes in it, because the enzymes will wreck your fabric. So the best alternative could be shampoo, because I've done that before with my other blankets, or you can use Woolite. Woolite is a very highly recommended detergent because it doesn't have any enzymes in it. It'll just clean the material, clean the yarn itself, while also allowing for the material to become softer and easier to work with. And then also you're going to need, well, you don't have to get these, but I personally love these are our wooden blocking panels, or I'm not sure what you would call these, but for wet blocking boards. And these are going to be for my granny squares and my half granny squares, and for my quarter granny squares. And then I also have one for my octagons, and this is a big one. And then this folds like that, and I've used this before for my other large paneled blankets, and I'll put links to all of these in the description below so you know where to shop for them. But I got them off of Amazon, and these come with the pins that you're going to need to hold them in place. So without further ado, here we go. All right, so first things first, for this to work, you're gonna need to have like lukewarm water. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some water going. So I'm gonna test this by feel. You want this to be tepid or lukewarm water, because if you have it too hot, then your fabric may shrink. And it's gonna take a little bit of time for it to a little tepid. I think we're getting there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take my, fill this up. And I think this looks, give me a second, I'm going to do this another way. Take my handy dandy. I'm going to fill this up a little bit halfway so I can submerge all of my panels. So I'm going to do my granny squares and all of my half granny squares and my quarter granny squares. So I'm going to fill this up, but then I'll meet you when this is halfway filled up. All right, so the next step, I'm going to take my Woolite, and then I'm only going to do like a little, like less than a capful. So I'm just going to do a little, like that much. I'm going to do like a little bit of Woolite, put it in the water. Then probably stir it around a little bit so I can get some of the water, so you can see a little bit of the suds coming Alright, so the next thing you're going to do is just basically drop your panels into the water. So I'm going to drop these in, but that... Yeah, so you're hearing the presses right in the background. I have it on just for background noise. So then I'm going to submerge these under the water. Okay, so I'm just going to start with these for now. And then I'm going to let these soak for about 15 minutes. So I'll meet you back in about 15 minutes and I'll show you show you what to do next. Alright, so 15 minutes has passed. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take one of your squares and then try to wring out as much as you can, but don't bring it too tight. And then you're going to take some water, just rinse it out. I'll do the tepid too, make sure it's all lukewarm. So let me give a chance to get that to that's good. So I'm just going to go ahead and rinse this out real quick. Make sure to get all that soap residue out of your fabric. I'm going to go ahead and turn this water off. Then I'm going to wring this out. Try to wring this out as best as you can, but without wringing it out too much. Alright, so then after that, you're going to go ahead and stretch this out as best as you can to make it as flat as possible. Let me go ahead and zoom this out a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of your pins and I'm going to put it in the corner stitch, probably in between there, and then put it in any of the holes up there. Then I'm going to put a pin in this middle one. So you're going to probably use about 9 pins for this. Then I'm going to do this corner stitch right here. And stretch this out. And then make sure all your pins are in the same row. Then I'm going to put this in this other. But you don't want to stretch it too much, but you want to stretch it enough to where it's going to dry nice and flat. Then I'm going to take this pin, put it in between this stitch here, put it in there. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to get this to where. Let's do this one up here. I stretch this a little bit this way too. And you may have to. I'm going to do this one over here too, so it's all. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just however you want to do it is your personal preference. So this is as stretched as I'm going to get it, but and then you're going to repeat this for all of your squares, and you're also going to repeat this for all of your other panels too. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these off camera. All right, so I have my granny squares all blocked and ready to go. So what I do is I kind of space them a little bit. So if you're gonna put a fan or anything to blow air, it'll get in between these panels and it'll dry it faster. And usually the drying process takes about a couple days to really get that shape you want. So just be aware that even with a fan on, or if you have don't put high heat on it. Again, it'll shrink if you do. So I would say put like a fan on a low setting, or just let them air dry naturally, and then these should be dry in about 2 to 3 days. And then once those are dry, then you can be able to work with them as you wish. And here is what all of my panels look like once they're pinned on the web blocking boards. And here's the larger panels. And then I have my 2 half granny squares, and I have my quarter granny squares, and then I have my granny squares here. So I'm going to take these, take a couple off the blocks and show you what it looks like compared to the unblocked. Here is what these pieces look like before being wet blocked. here is what your panels look like after they've been wet blocked. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed today's video all about wet blocking. So hopefully this video will be of great benefit to you in your knowledge of wet blocking, because again, this is one of those skills you'll need for your crocheting and knitting adventures. Plus, so yeah. So anyway, hopefully everyone's day's going well today. Don't forget to grab your crochet hooks or your knit needles, grab some yarn, and create something beautiful today. Spread love and not hate. Gotta love each other, help each other out, be there for one another. Spread kindness and love. Pay it forward. And love yourself, be true to yourself, and don't let anyone deter you from your true path. And stay on top of your mental health, because good mental health is very important. So I'm going to have a couple more videos coming down the pike, so be ready for those. And then I would like to thank all of my subscribers who have subscribed recently. I had a great influx of subscribers yesterday. As of right now, I have 455 subscribers, so I have about 45 more till I reach my 500 subscribers milestone. So I hope to achieve that before my birthday, which is about 16 days away. So hopefully that'll be a great birthday present. Anyway, and so on that note, take care of yourself and each other.